and welcome to my show. I'm Lady Leeanna and this is Witchcraft Wicca Eclectic Spirituality, where today I want to answer a very, very important question here. And it seems to be a very important question because it's being asked to me left and right from many different people that are confused about the whole matter. And they're asking me, Lady Leeanna, why do we have to put our tools in a direction that is synonymous with that direction? Now, every tool that you get within Witchcraft Wicca, Paganism, any herb you get, they all have a synonymity with the four directions, as well as masculine and feminine for that matter. But we don't always have to pay tribute to those as being masculine and feminine, or for that matter being the element that it's supposed to be synonymous with. In my opinion, you do not have to put anything in any particular direction simply because it is synonymous with that direction and it's considered to be a tool of the element of fire and south, or earth and north, etc. Basically, as a pagan, as a person that's well learned within witchcraft, Wicca, I go by a lot of the old structures of things simply because they had value to those ideas. Like, for instance, in the oldest days, they would put the tools that are synonymous with that element, that direction, in that direction, simply because they're teaching their kids, who, by the way, can't keep books at those times for fear that those books would be found and their entire family would be torched to death as witches. So, in witchcraft, in the oldest days, they taught the ideas behind their item in synonymity with easy learning tools, easy learning ideas or concepts, so that they don't have to write it down. But okay, your wand and your staff synonymous with fire over there in Europe. Okay, so let's lay that wand or staff across that end of our altar or in that side of our circle so that our young child will always see it there and know that that's where it belongs, and they will never have to question it because it'll always be implemented in their mind, and we don't have to write this down so that they kill our entire family. So that was why they did this in the old days. But in all reality, let's look at it today. It's a good idea because if you put the tool that is synonymous with an element and direction in that direction on your altar or in your circle, you'll know instantaneously where to reach to get it, and your ritual won't be clumsy. And this is exactly why Lady Leeanna does it that way. Not because I'm afraid I'm going to get torched or that I can't write anything down, because in this day and age we definitely can. But I want to know exactly where to take my hand whenever I'm busy working on this, whatever I'm working on, right down in front of me on my north side of the altar if I work on the north, or my west side whenever I'm working on my west. And if you know your temple place, no matter which side of your altar or the circle you're working from, you're going to know where to grab or where to get things, because even if you change the side of the circle at which you're working from, your tools on your altar, generally you would want to leave those in what would generally be your usual direction, and you don't move those around, but it is still in your mind the north side of your altar, the east, the west. Even if it's pointed in a different direction, your altar has a specific side to it within your mind, and you would keep it that way. Now, if you're working without an altar, it might be a different story, but for me it's not. I still generally look at it as I'm sitting in the north, and so whenever even I change the side of the circle that I'm sitting at and or facing to, I still keep this specific stuff that goes to my east to my left side, or that goes to my west to my right side, etc., because that is the usual place in my altar room that I work from, is sitting in my north. And so basically we don't have to put our tools in a direction that are synonymous with that element or that direction. But it really would help you if you want to be very organized while you're conducting your ritual, because you're drawing a synonymity with that direction, that area of your circle, that tool, and where it should lie, and you're reaching immediately for that which you need and not having to question where you put it from one time to the next. And that is my take on this particular thing. So for those of you that are turmoiled and wondering why you have to put a specific tool to a certain direction, the answer is you do not have to. Even though I have videos, and they are not saying, by the way, you have to put your tool here, you have to put your tool there, you do have to do this. It is saying this tool is synonymous with that element or that direction, etc., etc., but it's not laying out a ground rule. It's not. Also, by the way, I've got the video that talks about Lady Leeanna's private pagan altar room, and it talks about what I do. Now, if at any point or time I slipped out and said, you have to do this or that, I greatly apologize for that. But I don't think that I ever would, because nothing in my videos, as far back as I began making them 12 years ago, I never wanted to put anything set in stone, because in Witchcraft Wicca, Paganism, on any pathway, nothing is set in stone. There is nothing that says you have to do it this way, or that way. However, the true answer here is why people do it this way is because it's easier. They like to stay organized. They taught this from the oldest day, and that might simply be the reason why they do it, and they like to hold to nostalgia or ancestral and their type of works, etc. But in all reality, our ancestors, our people that came before us, they did it in a specific way, just like rhyming within our spell works. It's so that you can memorize the right lines better, so you don't have to write it down. That's what they were teaching their children, because you don't write things down in a world where they will do bad things to you. You just don't. So you teach your children in the easiest way to remember possible, and that is with constance. And that's what I extend over to you. And basically, I would encourage you to hold to these ways. A lot of people ask me likewise in my videos. That's another video altogether. Okay, so, or isn't it? I mean, in all reality, let me go ahead and impart this on you. The reason why we speak in rhymes, it's even said within the Wiccan Read and the Wiccan Creed. Generally, the Wiccan Creed, right? With the Witch's Creed. Let our spells be spoken rhyme. It's because we don't write things down in the old days, because we would be afraid for our lives. And so we wanted our kids to be able to take from our example, to use our spells so that they don't have to rewrite those. And spells gather power over time as well. And that's another reason why they would want their children to inherit their spells although you don't write them down, you would pass them down. And so that is why our ancestors did what they did in the old days. And so that's also an answer for you here today, is you don't have to do anything by the books. That's why we go to paganism from Christianity, a lot of us anyway, because there were so many institutions laid upon us, and it was so constricting and tightening that it was choking us to death. And so, you know, we take from the things that we want and we leave what we don't, and we construct and we create our spiritual practice within ourselves, for ourselves, so that we won't backslide away from it, so that we won't walk away from it or abandon it. And Goddess knows, if your spiritual pathway is not one you can always and from now on feel synonymous with, and always tread within, you are going to walk away from it. You're not going to be happy in it, and it should always be something you should be able to be happy with. And if you're ever changing your spiritual pathway because you're not happy in it, you're also always scrapping all of the work that you've done in the past. So this is the knowledge that I have for you today and want to impart on you. If you feel that I've been of a help to you in this particular video, by all means, please leave a like.